Hello and welcome to the 59th video in this series, programming a chess engine in JavaScript. So we're getting there with the GUI now. I just want to continue with the make user move here. We're going to now have to write a function which we'll start actually in the next video, which is making the actual move the piece on the board. And to do this we're going to need a couple of utility functions to add and remove a GUI piece. But before we do that, we're going to write out a little function, and I'm going to call this function, scroll down a bit, function and piece is on square. And the reason I'm doing this is, although I've said that the program is just a tutorial and it's more the interesting part is really the AI, the chess engine, which is why I'm whizzing through this GUI section a bit, breaks even my heart to have the same code copied about 7 to 10 times in the same file. So you remember that we have a couple of bits of code which ask the same thing. Well, I'm just going to take now this bit of logic here where we use this position top and left, and I'm just going to drop this logic down inside here, and here I'm going to return bool dot true. Otherwise I'm going to return bool.false, and you can see where this is going. Because the code's asking the same thing each time, is a square indeed on the position clicked, taking our top and left. And I obviously now need to remove this code here, like so. Good. So now what I can do actually is go back up into the functions above and actually call pieces on square instead of calling the same code, because we're going to be typing that code out yet again here. So I'm just going to do that and set just here, and this hasn't been actually planned beforehand, so I hope everything still works. But we've got the square, and then we need to put the position dot top and the position dot left in as arguments, like so. And we'll say that if that is equal to bool dot true, then we can do whatever we wanted to do. So I can take this out now and do it like this, so it looks a little bit neater anyway than it did before. And I'll just drop this code also into here like so. Okay, so at least we're not repeating that code, because we're going to be using that code yet again in a moment writing these functions. So now that function's written okay, and in fact I'm just going to refresh the good old browser here and double check that nothing's gone seriously wrong. No, it seems to know, and it's made the move. Good. Okay. So now we can get back to writing the functions we need. So the first function we're going to write will be the easier one of the two, and well, no, they're both relatively easy actually. The first one we'll write is actually removing the piece from the GUI, so we'll call it remove GUI piece, and we're removing it from square, like so. And now what we need to do is take our loop through each piece class, which I think we already have in the function we just looked at. Okay, doesn't matter at the moment. I'm just cutting the code a little bit short. So if we loop through each piece type now, like this, so each class of piece, and if the piece we found is on our square, then what we're just going to say is we're going to use the wonderful old function here called remove, like so. And that's all we need to do. So this will now remove a piece. So when we make our GUI move, if it was captured, we'll be calling remove GUI piece on this square, and the piece will be removed. And now what we want to write lastly for this video is the add GUI piece. So we'll say function and add GUI piece, and we're adding to square, and it's slightly more involved, this one, because obviously we need to know where we're going to be adding it. So we'll say that file is equal to files board of square, and we'll say that rank is equal to ranks board of square. And this is stuff that's also been done before, and when I'm doing that I get the feeling that perhaps I should have written all this out into little individual functions, but never mind. So we get the rank name and the file name, because obviously we need that to set the correct class, and that means then that we can create our file string. In fact, this is terrible really, because I've done exactly the same code here with a piece file name and an image string, an board, append string. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do in this video very quickly, because I didn't realize I'd done that in building the original engine. I'm just going to make a var here and a var here for the image string and set that to the board. But then what I'm going to do here is actually take our add piece GUI function that we've now written, seeing as we've seen it before, and drop it in the place here with the square, I assume, being our square 120 in this way. I'm now pausing because I'm wondering whether I've missed something, because we actually need to add the piece type, don't we? Yes, I've forgotten the piece as an argument in here. This is what happens when you don't plan a video out too well. So we've added a GUI piece to a sort of piece type piece on square square, which means I've got the file rank, the rank names, good. So I just need the piece and the square up here. Sorry about this, guys, but it's a more efficient way of doing it, so I just need to do add piece and square 120 and piece, and obviously I still need to put the if statement in to say that if piece is greater than equal to pieces dot white pawn and piece is less than equal to pieces dot black king, then do it, otherwise we'll end up in a complete mess. So that's the GUI piece function added in, and I've taken out a little bit of code duplication, not much. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now is probably find some inevitable errors by just refreshing this and setting the position. Oh, and everything's appeared on the board. Okay, I'm just going to make a move and see if it's still, and it works internally as well. That's amazing, no errors. Good, so we've added our remove GUI piece and our add GUI piece, and in the next video we can actually start writing the probably trickiest function in the whole GUI, and that is the make move GUI piece move on board. So sorry about the little bit of messing and shuffling around there with the functions in this video. Hopefully a little bit better planned in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Comments, questions, criticisms, welcome as always on YouTube.